All right, cool. Mic check. 1 second. We should be good now. Nice, nice. All right, so getting right into it, man. Getting right into it. I am looking at potential um potential longs. It just depends on how price responds after taking out this high here. We also stab into this order block here, and you see really nice rejection. All right. So let me see here. I wonder why it sounds so low in my headphones. Hmm, I'm not sure. It shouldn't be that low though. All right, here, let me do this. All right, let's see now. All right, so I'm gonna start looking for longs here. All right, yeah. So what I'm looking for is just for price to hmm, how do I want to play this? I like the longs down here. I already have these areas highlighted. Let's see, let's see. How do I want to play this? There we go. All right, cool. So, do I want long? And this music is kind of loud, right? Yeah. No, I don't. Let's turn it down. All right, cool. That's better. Turn up the mic a little bit and nice. So, what do we have here? All right, cool. So, how I'm looking at this, right? We have a few things going on. Let's look at NASDAQ. I'm going to look at the first 15 minutes here, see which one's stronger. NASDAQ appears to be slightly stronger from 9:15 to 9:30. Notice we don't move much actually. So 9:30 here, we take out the highs so far. ES taking out the low. ES slightly weaker also at this low here. We took out these lows right here. You see the slight SMT. So I'm looking at NASDAQ for buys. And I want this high right here. This is my target. If price shows me that it wants to be bullish from this area down here, right? So far, it looks really good. That's my draw there. Target, where are you? Target, there it is. All right, cool. So it all depends on how price responds here because I do notice that price gave beautiful rejection from this area, but then we push into this bearish territory. You see this bearish gap, see this bearish order block. You see another bearish gap and another bearish order block literally forming as we speak. 5 minutes left. If this ends up holding, you can't help but recognize shorts here, right? If I look across the board over here at the precious metals, you'll see that these are just still very bullish. Silver still at all-time high, gold on its way back up, right? So if those are remaining bullish, I know the shorts will be easier on the indexes. So for me, I would want to give price these 5 minutes here to wait and see how we respond to this area. Because once we get underneath here, I like I like a lot lower, right? Similar to yesterday, I said this whole move up right here was gonna be a scam. I was patiently waiting for shorts, right? And what did the market do? As soon as I get off the chart at 130, the shorts literally pour on and it was beautiful. Notice we haven't taken this low yet. So this would be the target for shorts, ideally. But now that price is giving you that break lower, we're getting this accumulation. You just have to play what the market gives you. Price could want to trade a little higher, you know, and then sell off. You never know, right? So how I'm playing this is okay. There we go. Yeah, if we break this high right here, I'm gonna look for longs, no question. Okay, yeah. So now is the time to look for the long. Bring out this Fibonacci. Notice the same area is holding up. This is where you got the breakout. All it is a simple break and retest. We pull back, break structure. Now we're pulling back again. And I'm looking for a closure. Yeah, once we start closing through these bearish candles, which we're about to, I'm anticipating higher. And I just need a good fill so that I can get the best RR here. So I'm looking at something like this entry down here, and I want this high 75 points, and I can go in with like a 30-point stop. That would be ideal. So what happened, right? We saw price play ping pong essentially. We see, come on, don't take off like that. But we see price on the 30-minute put in this low, pull back, retest this low, give my beautiful rejection sequence here at 8:30. It started. And then if you go down to the 1 minute and you say, all right, since 8:30, what 1 minute structure has been put in? Beautiful. Let's see if we get this pullback here. It's still pretty early. Hopefully we pull back. We might not though. Anyway, I could have entered down here, but you always wait for that break of structure, right? We finally get the break of structure with this high being taken out. And now we should see some sort of pullback, I hope. But what I'm looking at is from 8:30, right? This candle closes at 8:30. Here's 9 a.m., 30-minute candle, right? And I'm looking from 9 to 9:30. What do we have? We have this down close candle, break, retest, hold, go higher. So now we have a few areas of interest. We have this down close candle. We have this yellow area here. You want to see 9:30 open, push into this area and show that it's still bullish. And that's exactly what we get here. So with that, now here's where I can anticipate an entry. 30-point stop will be my trade. And I'm looking for 75 points here. Let's see if ES pulls back deeper than NASDAQ, because I may need to buy ES. I'm looking for the one that gives you the best discount. And that's going to be the biggest part of trading this year, man. You got to get decent RR, bro. I'm tired of 1R trades because I could get a better entry, right? Looking at my notes, I'm pretty good at knowing where price is headed. I'm pretty good at calling out the best areas to buy, but sometimes I buy a little bit too high or I buy a little bit too late, right? And that forces me to just target a 1R. Whereas if I just put my entry a little bit lower and just wait for a lower entry, if it fills me, it fills me. If it doesn't, then skip it, because what'll happen is most of my trades will be over 1R if I can just get a better entry, right? It's tough because some trades are going to leave without you, right? For example, let's say this trade doesn't pull back. You're going to have to deal with that, right? But I think I've officially accepted that I I'd much rather have a better entry than more entries. Would love to see this. Wait, I forgot to update this. So we're at 50% now. I want to see at least the golden pocket here. Might not get it, but I want the best entry possible, man. Because, oh my goodness, what is this doing? It's about to rip. It's about to rip, kid. All right, I think I'm gonna have to take this entry. If I get stopped, let's see. Come on, bro, don't do me like that. See how bad? Look how terrible the risk to reward is now. But this is liable to take off. Man, that sucks. Or just give me a 30 point. Yeah, I'm gonna try a tighter stop here. 30 points on the stop. And I'm gonna take this. We're respecting 50%. Price is showing a lot of speed. 35 points would be 9 micros. So I'll go like 7, 6 maybe. I'm long there. I'm long there at 25, 6, 3, 1. And we should see a sharp move quicker here to the upside. And tight stop. All right, and I'm just looking for a quick scalp to these highs here. Really, I should do a tighter stop because price is really 30 points away. So yeah, I'm doing 30 point TP here. 30 for 30. Put this a little bit tighter. All right, nice. And then this is me understanding that if price wants to run, I'll catch it. If price stops me out, I'll get a better entry down here anyway. And that's crazy. Unfortunately, it literally just wanted to stop me out immediately. All right, so second attempt on the way. No big deal. Apparently, it's going to hit this 0.68 now. And I want to see a strong reaction here. That's crazy, bro. It waits for you to get in to show that bearishness. How much time is left in this candle here? 30-minute candle. 12 minutes. All right, here we go. Pushing into that 0.68. And my stop will be down here somewhere. So assuming this level holds, right? It should end up offering a clean rejection any moment now. And vice versa, right? If this doesn't hold, then what's going to happen is you're going to see this level here get broken. And that'll create that bearish profile. All right, what price would this be? 25,600, 602, 45 point stop. I'm looking for something like that. $25,601. And that would be probably just cover this low to get the best RR 40. There we go. I like that. 1.4 R, 25,600. 40 points on the stop would be 6 micros. And we should be ready to take off pretty soon here. 40 for 55. All right, cool. So now I'm just waiting for a nice strong push to confirm price wants higher here. Let's see if we get some speed here. Let's see if we get some speed. All right, should be good. Should be good. Starting to see that speed now. A little bit at least. I want to use this new trade of 8 feature here. So looking for a strong close, just a bullish closure. And if I put my stop down here, so 9 would be a little bit too steep. 40 points should be 6. Right? Yep, there we go. 6. And I go like a $550 stop, extra $50 for protection. Nice. So this is like the new the new feature. All right, so I'm gonna buy this here. Executed there. VIP. Go ahead, enter your positions. We are trading the NASDAQ higher TP up here. And that's my fault. I got in early, but like I said, bro, this is the game we sign up for. And I'm looking for ways to play it smarter. And sometimes it just, I don't know, bro. Sometimes I just feel like it forces you to show your hand here. Like, price pulled back to 50%, respected it beautifully, pretended as if it was ready, and then it pulls back. And now what do you see? Price hit that golden pocket or that 0.68 level and goes right back bullish. So nothing about this tells me short just yet. That 30-minute candle should offer some sort of a move. We have 7 minutes left. So in the next 7 minutes, I would love to see this candle close strong. If you get a weak closure off of this order block here, that could open the door for the shorts, right? So I'm taking a stab at the buys, just looking at the structure. I like the buys, but only if we can break this level here. The market does a good job at showing like both sides, right? Right now we're seeing bullish structure and we're seeing bearish structure. All right, but the one thing about the bearish structure is it's not as solidified just yet. So I'm trusting the buy structure that was retested. We had this bullish structure here, broke up, pulled back, maintained this area, gave you bullish structure again, and then we haven't taken out this high yet. So I want to be bullish until I see price truly reject this area. So that's the game plan here. That is the game plan here. And 6 minutes left. Like I said, if price shows lots of rejection from this level, specifically this 25,644, then that's telling me the shorts are the best play. So I'm really just looking for this high right here, 25,656. Not a terrible move right now. I'm just looking for some consistency higher with a strong 30-minute closure. So I really don't want to watch the lower time frame. I want to see how this higher time frame candle unfolds. 954. There we go. So yeah, you definitely want to see a strong body closure. It's just tough understanding how the markets move, right? When you know that price can still reject these levels, this trade becomes a little bit like iffy, but you really want to just trust the break and retest, right? That's where most of my confidence will come from. We see the break here, we see the retest. The retest was confirmed. So as long as this level holds, I'm going to be bullish, right? That makes my job easier as a day trader. Don't want to be too, you know, up and down. You want to just pick a bias, monitor that bias. And as long as that bias holds up, keep that bias until your targets are hit. Definitely want to see a strong close above this level here in the next 4 minutes. And this level right here is a problem because it's sitting inside of this bearish gap, right? So that's why you need to see this level like get closed through. Doesn't have to happen on this 30-minute candle, but it does need to happen without any more rejection. Otherwise, I may have to cut it. There we go. There goes some speed. There goes some speed. See if we can get one more push through this high here, and that'll wrap it up for me today. Still haven't taken that high yet. Make sure ES hasn't as well. All right, yeah. So we're still in the mix here. Looking for one push higher here. 5 minutes left in this 30-minute candle. Really nice wick at the bottom of this candle. Really nice, right? This wick right here should be enough damage to finish the job. Let me see what the other chart looks like. Didn't NASDAQ take it? All right, so the stronger contract, the bigger contract takes the high. Oh my goodness, kid. Some stuff is like, how are you supposed to monitor all of this? Oh my goodness gracious. Oh my goodness, kid. If this reverses because one contract takes the high and the micro doesn't, I can't even be mad, bro. I'm not even gonna let that phase me. I want to see this specific chart take the high. If it doesn't, then there you have it, right? But you can't tell me my bias was wrong. You can't tell me my levels are wrong. You can't tell me my entry plan was wrong. So just let it keep going, bro. I just need to see this take this high, kid. We're not asking for much. We're not asking for much, kid. There goes that last push. Come on, give me one more push. Take the high. Rip it. Finger on the trigger here. Well, right now we're floating 47 points. Had a 40-point stop. Like I said, I need better RR if I'm gonna be hitting the goals I want to hit this year. So I can't close this right now. You can maybe go break even if you want, but I'm chilling. This high was my draw from the very beginning of the session, and we're like literally 4 points away. So please just take the high, kid. Did it take it yet? No. Come on, kid. I want to see you rip through it for me. Reward me for being on my game. We are on it, guys. This is trading. This is day trading. This is day trading, and as long as we can just break this high, our job is complete. It's so funny when this stuff happens, bro. Like, what is up here? Is ES taking the high? No. Let me put an alert here so I don't have to keep going back and forth. Just take the high for me, kid. There goes the highs. Any rejection here, I am out. Giving it a little bit more room to work. There we go. 690, 700. Can I get 7? Bingo. Bingo. All right, 1 second here. Let me draw this up. There you go. 1.5 R. Now we're trading, right? Now we're trading. You use that, that 1 R. Oh, it's gonna keep going, huh? There we go. That's what I like to see. But yeah, so that's my game plan here, right? We start off the year very solid. The whole month of January has been very clean, right? So you use the 1R to build up your buffer, okay? And then once you build up your buffer, now it's like, all right, let me start focusing in. Let me look at my notes. Let me look at my trades. Let me see what I can do to increase excuse me, just increase my RR ever so just enough, to see a big difference, right? 1.5 compared to 1R is a massive difference, right? You'll see a massive difference in your trading. So that's the game plan here. Excellent move, excellent read. Everything's excellent. And another thing, right? If you've been watching the streams, normally I start around 10 o'clock, but my notes are telling me that if you want the better RR, you should be on the charts by 9:30, because literally right after the open, you can see right now it's 10 a.m. and we've already caught 60 points. All right. And that's it, right? Nothing more for me to do here. Streams will be, like I said, and look at this 30-minute candle. This was flawless. This tells you that price wants higher here, right? We closed through the only objectives in our way. And now with that closure, you have this here. You have that 30-minute candle, which is no wick. You have this order block high, right? And now you're back up into the range yesterday where price went bearish. I could sit here and I could trade this because I could probably draw up a short from these levels, right? But in what world would I want to do that on a Friday after catching a really nice move here? 1.5 R recovers the first loss, and I went lower size on my first trade. Excellent move. I'll take it. Maybe next time I'll just force myself to only enter at the golden pocket, bro. It's something about that golden pocket here where you see price even respects 50% but doesn't have the energy. It really just wanted one more move lower, and then the moment it flips bullish, there goes your delivery. But realistically speaking, this was my only draw. I don't know what price is going to do up in this area. That's why I would look for shorts personally above this high. But that's going to be it for me. Once again, 9:30 stream time from here on out. So be ready to go, like literally at 9:30. You could see a trade on the screen at 9:30 exactly. So actually, let me do this. Put this in my notes. Draw was beautiful. Price rips. I'm just grateful that price took the time to pull back after 9:30, right? Once price started to take off here, I thought it was going to take this high. It pulls back, gives you a fair chance to enter. You can't argue with this price action here. This was fabulous. All right, so yeah, good execution. If you're gonna enter early here, make sure you go a little bit smaller on the size. Tight stop. That way, if you're wrong, you're out of the position. You don't want to be holding it, and then you can re-enter when price is ready to show that true move. Excellent. VIP, well done. VIP, I only signaled the second trade because the first trade was pretty quick. I got stopped out in like 2 minutes. Literally, as soon as I bought it, I got stopped. So VIP did not get alerted on that one. VIP got the second one for 1.5. Copy this. If you guys have any questions, let me know as usual. And yeah, you guys enjoy the weekend. Here, let me take a look at the forecast for the week. And I'll even give you guys a something to work with. Here's some levels if you want to trade later. I'm not sure, but you can see some levels that should take price lower, because I don't think we're bullish. I'm more short, right? I'm only gonna buy when it's super obvious, but I'm a bear going into 2026. And I called it. I called it right after we made all-time highs on ES. If you watch my streams, you know I said, depending on how price responds after taking this high, which we took that high in January 13th, look at the reaction. Price breaks this all-time high and absolutely plummets. That was all I needed to know, that we're not really interested in higher. Price is probably going to stay within this range right here from this high. Just keep this in mind, right? 7,012 all the way down to 65.80. That's the range. I would like shorts back all the way down until we start sweeping through this range here. All right, NASDAQ isn't even near all-time highs. Another nice divergence. All right, I think price is going to be on a nice either consolidation, go sideways, or bear trap. I'm sorry, bull trap, sending price lower. But yeah, I'm excited. I got me some new equipment. Got a new monitor, um, new mic. Shout out to my boy. And yeah, let's look at the news for next week, and I'll give you guys some levels for a short if you're interested in shorts later today. All right, so news is pretty light next week. We have FOMC on Wednesday, so I will not be trading that. So pretty basic week next week, but the volume has been spectacular, so I would expect that to continue. All right, so cool. Looking at these levels, right? If you are bearish like I am, what do you want to know? You want to know how price responds in these bearish gaps, right? It's that simple, and that's going to give you the best trade idea, right? So you have this bearish gap right here. You see price push into that gap, wait for a candle to close inside of it, and then react from it. So this was your first bearish area of interest. All right, my bad. So yeah, this was your bearish area of interest. Here, let me screenshot all of this so I can erase it and then reevaluate. All right, cool. So just gonna recap this trade idea and then give you guys a bearish idea, and then I'm out of here. So the the session started pretty obviously bullish, if you ask me. All right, we had SMT off of the London low, which is another story. But looking at this, right? Where is price trading into? Price is trading into a bullish gap here. So all this price action in here, this gives me my bias, right? I'm letting the area of interest give me my bias. So if we're bullish, I know how price is likely to respond. It'll respond similar to this right here, right? You're going to drive into that bullish area of interest, close a 30-minute candle, and then begin to reverse. So this was the beginning of a reversal yesterday, right? And here's your buy, right? Oh, wow. Notice we didn't even take this high. This could be your draw here, right? If we push down into this bullish area, put in these internal highs, push back and maintain this level, price could literally trade right back to this as your draw. So I wouldn't short until we see, well, it depends, right? Because price could literally chop inside of here, go lower before going higher, just like it did here, right? A lot of people were probably buying it right here thinking it's going to hit this high. But if you fail to read price action, you'll get caught in the trap, right? But price was trading into this bullish fair value gap. Make that gray area of interest. All right. And if you guys know me, you know that the fair value gap is much more than just the gap. For me, it is the candle before it and the wick. Right. It's a fair value gap is a three candle pattern. You have the low, the middle candle, and the high candle. All of this is considered the fair value gap to me, which helps me keep a bullish bias until price breaks through here and holds underneath here. Very simple, right? So now that price has held this area once, and I look up and I see, wow, price is trading into this same area of interest, and we're getting the same 30-minute reaction here, right? So this is at 4 a.m. We get a beautiful close into this area and immediately reject this closing price and start climbing higher on the 30-minute. Beautiful. So what do I tell myself? I say, it all depends on where 930 opens up, right? Because I could draw up a bearish idea based off of this right here. We have this bearish gap here, right? And price already rejected here, right? So now I'm thinking, beautiful. Let's see where 930 opens. 930 opens down into bullish territory, okay? When I have a candle, a down close candle that's starting a reversal, I can look at the lower time frame and find some sort of lower time frame down close candle that is literally the precise moment where price wants to turn. Here it is. You have this down close candle on the 5-minute, but you can even go down to the 1-minute, which I did today, right? Go down to the 1-minute, zoom in and say, all right, once price started to turn around here, show me that last down close candle that price broke and retested multiple times, or at least once or twice, right? You break here, retest, show strength, pull back into it, maintain the exact candle body here. This down close candle is proof that price should not go lower from here, right? So now that I see that, I drag it over and I say, let's see what 930 has to say about this area. 930 does what? Opens higher up into this bearish area, but notice when it returned down into this area, we see nothing but bullish reaction. All I need to see is pull back into here and break structure, aka make a new high. What do? Pull back into this area, made a new high. From there, normally I probably buy this. Literally, we make a new high. I probably just buy it and put my stop something like this, 60-point stop, and just target a 1R, something like that. But I believe it's time to move on from 1R. It's okay to have some 1R trades, right? But when these type of trades are presenting themselves, I want a clean entry because price is giving us everything we're asking for, right? 1 hour trades are probably going to be, let's say, if you thought about buying it late, maybe you get a 1 hour because you get in late. But if I'm buying it near the area I want to buy it, which would be down here somewhere at a discount, I just need to see price start to turn. And once price started to turn, right, we got in before this candle even closed, around 25,600 to be exact, whatever. And then now I can get a 40-point stop because I'm not anticipating price to come back. This is the lower high. I'm just anticipating price at this point, right? Otherwise, trading is no fun. If you don't anticipate and execute at the proper, proper time. I feel like it was, oh, I did. I took a little more. That's why I took like 60 points instead of that, right? Because I'm understanding that if price wants this high, it could just blast through it. Simple. 1.5, that's the trade idea. We had an area of interest from earlier. We had a bearish area of interest that was not being retested, right? So the reason why I didn't care about shorts here, if you look, price opens 930 and taps into this area. But if you look at this, where can you see any break and retest of an up close candle other than right here? You have this subtle up close candle get closed through. All right, if we zoom in a little bit, you'll see this up close candle get closed through right here, close through the body, push back into that body. So if you're just watching the body here, up close candle closes through the body, retest the body, and gives a beautiful move lower. So this right here is nice, but as I look through this entire leg lower, there's no break and retest offered. That's a sign that this is just manipulation. All right, you have a break and retest right here where we break these candle bodies, pull back. This is a nice zone. All right, very nice zone, but you'll notice price has already broken this zone before right at 930. We break this zone. We haven't hit this one level here yet. So I'm not really worried about the shorts. I'm actually more excited about the buys because of like the ping pong type of theory, right? Right. This helps me to understand price, right? So if I was bearish, I would want to see price create, let's say this reversal, right? This is the reversal. Price pushes into bearish territory, shows signs of bearishness. If I'm bearish, I want to see price break through this bullish area. Failure to break this area, I am no longer bearish, right? Failure to break this area tells me I should target these bearish highs. It's like ping pong, right? If we bounce off of here and hit here, which side is stronger? If this side is stronger, it should break what we just bounced from. It failed to break, so now I'm anticipating if it doesn't want to, bounce here and break this high, that's one thing. But for sure, we should bounce here and retest this high. Price could do something like this. We've seen it before, bounce, retest, reject, and then finally break to go lower, right? But for sure, if this level keeps holding, I'm going to keep looking for buys at that low until I see it break, right? And you're just giving price a chance to do something with itself, all right? So I have those photos. Let me double check them before I erase everything. All right, 30-minute chart. And I don't have the 30-minute chart, bro. I know I downloaded this. Anyway, let me just take off these indicators, screenshot this. So you can see it, right? You can see how I drew this trade up. It wasn't really that difficult to pick a side. The question is, how do you read your break and retest, right? That's where I stick to my guns, right? I call it, like I said, the ping pong effect. If I see two valid areas bouncing into each other, like here, we bounce here, right? This is why I wanted shorts, because even though we're bouncing here, we still have the high of this fair value gap, which a lot of people would say, right? Like, it's really funny to me, but I don't know. A lot of people would say, oh, this is an inversion. We closed through the bearish gap Why didn't we go higher then, buddy? Because you're not including honestly, the most important part of a bearish gap is the top. The midpoint is one thing that can be tap and reject, but really all the bearish pressure started up here, right? So I understand that just because we showed bullishness here, if I missed this trade, which I did yesterday, I missed this because it was really quick, whatever. That's why I will be on at 9:30 going forward. But I understood that if price pushed into this area and showed any rejection, I could short it. Unfortunately, it didn't want to do that until literally 2 p.m. But you see the same reversal model. You see a push into bearish territory. You see a candle close. You see the next candle reject that closing price with a beautiful sell signal. Now, all I need to do is zoom into here and find out what structure was left behind, right? So if I do that, you'll see the same trade we just took for the long. It'll be sitting right here for the short. All right. Yeah. Good job. Eat. All right. So that's what it comes down to, right? So now if I'm looking at this candle, it was 1 to 130. You see that bearish closure at 130 here. So you just mark off these levels so you know exactly where the candle closed. 130, this candle closes. Show me where price offers up close candles that are broken and retested in this range. All right, I can show you one right. For one, this is one here. We get slightly above it, but notice price is not really comfortable above it. All right, that's where you don't want to be too precise. Like typically you want to see something like we close underneath it and then fail to break the high. Right, but as you can see, we still break the high a few times, but this is fine. That's not enough to throw me off of my short. That's very clear to me that this up close candle, we break it, pull back, break it again, pull back. We see how we're failing to just keep going higher. Then we break it again. So I drag this across. After 130, I want to see price tap into this area and break structure. There goes your break. Clear break of structure. You can say this low. You can say this low. Any one of these lows, right? It breaks structure. And here goes your Fibonacci. And you want 0.68 to offer some sort of rejection. So even here, you could have shorted here. You see price hit that 0.68. You see it try to run. Short here. And you want a stop at a safe place, right? This would only have been a 35-point stop loss. Today, I traded a 40-point stop loss to put it in perspective. And you target your 1.4 or 1.5. But for me, it just depends on what the setup is. If we have a clear draw, so like what would my draw be here? Today we had a clear draw, so I just set that draw and I was okay with that RR. Oh, look at this. There goes your TP, full target hit. There goes your TP, full target hit. Wow. So now this is where you want to know, all right, this price show more rejection now. And if gold and everything else is still bullish, I think we do. I think if gold and silver are continuously making all-time highs, the indices will start to suffer. That's not a good sign for the stock market if gold and silver keep going higher and higher. It's actually a sign that something bad is about to happen, some type of sell-off for the indexes. But for this one, my draw would literally be some type of timestamp, right? So I don't see any clear swing point in the way here. So I would have been targeting some sort of timestamp. Zoom in here. What do we have? Let's see. I'd have to back it up to see it. So let's do that. What would my draw be? All right, yeah, previous daily high. Yeah, so this is like a 1 hour type of trade where, first of all, it's really late in the afternoon. It's 2 o'clock, which is tough. Like part of me wants to just trade all day from 9:30 to 3 p.m. But like, I don't know if I want that type of toll. I don't want to be that, chained to the charts. So, but anyway, let's say you are on the charts here. It's super late in the day. That's another reason to just go for 1 hour. And you have clear draws here. You have these equal lows right above that previous daily high. You can put your stop at 35 points, take 35 points and call it a day. Same exact trade, just a much slower delivery, much slower delivery. But it's the same trade, right? And that's exactly what I want my screenshots to look like every single time I take a trade. If we go to today and we look at some areas here, let's see what we can do. This price went higher. Like I mentioned, right? This was your draw. And hopefully someone's learning from this, but if not, they'll learn it eventually. Somehow. Somehow the truth will come to light. So depending on what happens here, right? If this turns into a nice wick, then you have a previous order block in this area, right? So this is how I would frame up a short. If we can close back underneath this red line, that's going to tell me that the shorts are still in play. All right. If price closes above here with a nice 30-minute body, then naturally you start to say, all right, well, we're leaving behind these bullish fair value gaps. Price is probably going to push into another bearish area. So this will be the next draw if we can make it through there. Right, we make it through here. Where's the next bearish area of interest? It's sitting right here. And if we drive, as always, right, if we overextend into bearish territory, expect a pullback. It doesn't have to pull back and break structure way down here. It simply has to pull back to retest and mitigate these bullish moves before either going higher or going lower. Nice. So yeah, that's the game plan, right? You pay attention to how price enters certain areas, right? And if you notice, when we drove into this bearish gap, we generated lots of structure, pushed into the gap, which was unmitigated. So you anticipate some sort of rejection, similar to what we would anticipate when price drives into here. And then once price gives you that rejection, you're looking to see, all right, how does this move respect the previous structure? If it holds, then I'm no rocket scientist, but that's telling me that if it's holding, I'm going to target this high then. And then the same thing here, if price pushes into this zone, pulls back and holds any bullish structure, then I'm going to anticipate higher. And then you have to have, whatever entry protocol that you build for yourself, right? My entry protocol is not the same every time. It's all based on how these candles are driving into certain areas. And then looking at the reaction on the 30-minute chart, right? Instead of looking at a 1-minute reaction where a lot of traders are just hoping for a sweep and an inversion to get in on the best trades. Like, for example, this here, right? You sweep this low, you offer multiple inversions, but that's not enough to send price where it wants to go. The only way your entry model could be that simple is if you have excellent points of interest. Like for example, here, if you had this same point of interest that I have, and you said if we can just invert the gap that sends price into it, something like this, a closure above this move here, closure above here, and you're like, all right, I'm bullish as long as we can hold above it. That's fair game because your higher time frame level is going to give you a lot of volume. So as long as you're trading alongside that higher time frame level, your chances of catching a winning trade skyrockets, right? Even if you just randomly click buy, you could even set just a random buy order down here. Just be like, I like this higher time frame zone. I'm just gonna put an order here and see what happens. Right? 25-point stop, and I want this high. That's trading because you've identified where the most bullish volume should come from. Me personally, I don't like to guess, right? Because price could slam through this level because we just delivered from a bearish gap. How did I know that this was about to reverse? I waited for price to drive back into this gap, close a candle, and show signs of rejection on the 30-minute chart. All I need is one 30-minute doji and the game is on. The game begins. One 30-minute doji, one 30-minute engulfing, any of that. The game begins right at that moment because I know we're in a beautiful strike zone, right? And looking at the trade I lost earlier in the week, right? That's honestly, that's what woke me up. That's what helped me to clean up this approach when I got wicked out of the biggest trade of the week. This is another one, right? Notice we close above here and price is pushing into that bearish territory. So you could see price push into this gap and then reject to fill in this gap, right? Same type of thing. But yeah, it's 10:30. That's my 30-minute spiel there. Good session today. I plan as soon as my 2-year-old, like, so I don't webcam when I have my 2-year-old because I'm always up and down all over the place with this kid. But God willing, he's like calming down. He's not as adventurous. So maybe soon this year I'll be able to webcam like everybody else and then just really lock in. Like, I'm happy with how we start the year, but now it's time. I want 20K months. I want 30K months because I have the skill set, right? Not because I want to show off. I don't think I've ever posted a payout. Like any payout I get, it goes straight to my account and I pretend like it's not there. Like it's not about the payout. It's not about the money. It's about your skill set and mastering your skill set. And then from there you can live your life because you've mastered something that can literally bring you money whenever you need it. So that's what this group is about. This community has been about for the past year. I started streaming last year. It's all about just perfecting the skill, mastering the craft, showing up every day, taking the losses, learning from the losses, fixing the approach, and making the best of the next opportunity, right? So you guys that have been here, you guys know exactly what to expect. With trading, it's tough to have like expectations because the market can be trash one day and really good the next. But in January, the volume has been A+, so you can't complain, right? Cannot complain, and I will not do that. So I think I have my screenshots. I for sure took them this time. And I still don't have it, bro. How is this possible? It's not saving them. Let me do this. All right, so we had this bearish area, tapped into that bearish area, maintained bullish structure here. We had boom, 5 minute, 1 minute, obvious down close candles being rejected. 9:30 opens. 1 second. All right, yeah. So man, this is a beautiful buy. Gold should start shorting then, or showing some sort of consolidation or exhaustion. But it is still pretty early, so this could still be a fake out, guys. It's yeah. But draw here. We got rejection here. We maintain this area. I love that price maintains this. And then boom. That's it. All right, so nice. That'll wrap it up. I will catch you guys on Monday. Like I said, price pushing into bearish territory now. So if you're interested in shorts, I would just wait for like some sort of 30-minute rejection candle showing you that there's sellers in the market, and then look to target these bullish gaps. Or vice versa, you can just chill, wait for price to pull back into one of these bullish gaps and give you a 30-minute reversal profile or reversal candle. It's all just one candle. Doji, strong rejection, obvious rejection, right? And then look for a continuation off of that rejection, you know. But you guys play it safe. I'll catch you guys next time, and God bless.